Hey, welcome. So if you've ever just stared at a Spanish sentence, totally confused about where to put those little words like lo, la, or mi, then you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to dive into this puzzle that seems super tricky, but I promise it's actually surprisingly simple once you know the secret.
Okay, so this right here is the heart of the whole problem, isn't it? You see, lo quiero comprar, and you think, okay, that makes sense. But then you see, quiero comprarlo, and that's correct too. They both mean I want to buy it. So how? How can two totally different sentences be right? It feels kind of random, but trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see that there's a system here, and it's a really smart one.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to look at the puzzle, then I'll show you the two golden rules that basically solve everything. From there, we'll see how to handle one pronoun, then two, we'll tackle that special say rule, and we'll wrap it all up with a cheat sheet so you can take it with you. Ready? Let's do this.
Okay, let's get right into it. The two golden rules. Seriously, this is the key to everything. If you can get your head around this next idea, you've pretty much solved 90% of the entire pronoun puzzle.
Here we go. It's called the verb magnet. I want you to picture this in your head. Spanish object pronouns. Words like mi, te, lo, they're like tiny little paper clips. They can't just float around in the middle of a sentence. They have to be stuck magnetically right onto a verb. Always. There are zero exceptions to this.
So the big question is, where on the verb magnet do they stick? Well, you only have two choices. That's it. Just two. Option 1. You can stick the pronoun right before a conjugated verb. That's a verb that's been changed for a subject, like hablo or commas. Option 2, you can literally attach it to the end of a verb that's in its base form. You know, an infinitive ending in re or ir, a gerund ending in nendo, or a command. That's it. Those are the only two options you'll ever have.
Okay, time to put these rules to work. Let's see how they apply in the real world. We'll start simple with sentences that only have one pronoun. This is where you're going to see it all start to click. So this is the one you see most often. The verb is conjugated. Veo, quiero, so that pronoun just snaps right in front of it like a magnet. Lo veo, te quiero. It's clean, it's simple. The pronoun comes right before the action. Easy enough, right?
Okay, but what happens when you have a phrase with two verbs working together, like want to see? Here, you've got a conjugated verb, quiero, and an infinitive, ver. And since both of those verb forms act like magnets, well, now you've got a choice about where to stick your pronoun.
And this is perfect. This shows our two golden rules in action. You can take that pronoun, lo, and stick it before the conjugated verb, lo quiero ver, or you can take it and attach it to the end of the infinitive, quiero verlo. Both are 100% correct, and they mean the exact same thing. It's not a trick, it's just flexibility. You get to choose which one sounds better to you.
And guess what? The exact same logic works for gerunds, the ing form in Spanish. For I am eating it, you can put lo before the conjugated verb, lo estoy comiendo, or you can attach it to the end of the gerund, estoy comiéndolo. Just pay attention to that little note there. It's super important. When you attach the pronoun, you almost always have to add an accent mark to keep the stress on the right syllable. So comiendo becomes comiéndolo.
And what about saying no? This one's a piece of cake. Just remember, the no is the boss. It always comes first and pushes everything else out of its way. The pronoun then just tucks itself in right between the no and the verb. No lo sé. You would never ever say lo no sé. The order is set in stone. No, pronoun, verb. Okay, let's level up. What happens when you've got two pronouns in one sentence, like he gives it to me? You have the thing, it, and you have the person it's for, to me. They have to stick together, but there's a very strict rule about what order they go in.
And the rule is simple and it never changes. Indirect before direct, always. The indirect pronoun, the one that answers the question to whom or for whom, that one comes first. The direct pronoun, the one that answers what, comes second. Just think of it like this. Person before thing.
Let's see how that looks. He gives it to me. Okay, to whom? Me. What does he give? Lo. Person before thing gives you mi lo. Él me lo da. Perfect. How about I recommend them to you? To whom? Te. What do I recommend? Las. So, te las. Te las recomiendo. Once you get that person before thing idea locked in your brain, it just becomes second nature.
All right, now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle, This is the one little exception that trips a lot of people up. But it's not actually about grammar. It's all about something much simpler, making the language sound good.
So let's try to build the sentence, I give it to him. Using our rule, to him is le, and it is lo. So that should be le lo doy, right? Just try saying that out loud. Le lo. It kind of gets stuck in your mouth, doesn't it? That clumsy LL sound is exactly what Spanish is trying to avoid here.
And that's literally the entire reason this rule exists. It has nothing to do with some complicated grammar chart, it's just about sound. The language evolved to smooth out that awkward lelo or layla sound because, well, it just doesn't flow.
So what's the fix? It's actually pretty clever. Spanish just does a quick swap. Anytime le or lis would come before lo, la, los, or las, that le or lis automatically changes into se. So the clunky le lo doy becomes the much smoother, much easier to say si lo doy. It's important to note this isn't a reflexive say, it's just le in disguise.
Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all of this together into one simple, powerful cheat sheet. Think of this as your go-to guide while you're practicing.
And there it is. This table lays out pretty much every situation you're going to run into. You can see right away, for a basic conjugated verb, the pronoun goes before. But if you have an infinitive or a gerund, you get that choice, before the whole phrase or attached to the end. It's all right here in one spot. Before we finish up, let me give you 3 quick pro tips to make this all feel even easier. First, if you're ever totally stuck and your mind goes blank, your safest bet is almost always to put the pronoun before the conjugated verb. Second, a lot of people find that attaching the pronoun to the infinitive, like in quiero hacerlo, just feels and sounds a little more natural. And third, stop thinking of say and lo as 2 different words. Just train your brain to see say lo as one single chunk that means it to him, or it to her, or it to them.
So there you have it. We've gone from a confusing puzzle to a set of simple, powerful rules. Now to wrap this up, I've got a little challenge for you. The sentence is, she is writing it to them. Think about it. You've got a conjugated verb and a gerund, which means you have 2 correct ways to say it. And you've got 2 pronouns, it and to them, so you're definitely going to need that special say rule. You have all the tools now. How would you say it? Give it a shot. I know you can do it.